Marriage is the union of two unique persons, also known as matrimony. It is a social and legal contract that provides a partner with someone to rely on, increases intimacy, and provides emotional security. Suppose you are married to a narcissistic husband. In that case, you probably have challenges dealing with his attitude due to the many red flags he has been displaying in your relationship. However, as a good and loving wife, you can't just give up easily on your marriage, especially if you already have children. I am going to show you the 10 ways you can help your narcissistic husband change for the better. Number 1. Be patient with his flaws. I can't stress this enough, but patience is one of the key elements of marriage. When married couples are patient with each other's differences, including their flaws and weaknesses, they thrive together. You can help your narcissistic husband to change for the better by not pressuring him in his personal growth. Show him that you are there by his side while he is trying to figure out his shortcomings and mistakes. Give him an assurance that you will never leave him as long as he is doing his best to change for you, your children, and your marriage. Number 2. Don't justify his mistakes. You should be able to spot intentional mistakes committed by your narcissistic husband. Do not justify his actions because if you do, you are hindering his personal growth. Narcissists take confidence in the thought that someone is willing to tolerate their wrongdoings. You can help your narcissistic husband to change for the better by constantly reaching out to him regarding his faults, but avoid being accusatory. Tell him that you understand his needs, ask him how you can be of service to him, and request him to avoid repeating his mistakes. Be honest with your feelings towards your narcissistic husband's actions so that he will be aware of the effects of his choices and decisions in life. Number 3. Shower him with love, care, and understanding. Most narcissists are a byproduct of abuse due to bad parenting. Some grew up in a house with alcoholic and drug-dependent parents or guardians. Their exposure to domestic violence took a toll on their mental health, which led them to become narcissistic. Since they lack parental attention and guidance, they never experienced genuine love for their family. You can help your narcissistic husband to change for the better by showing him your love, care, and understanding. As a good wife, you should be the first person to provide him with his emotional needs to heal his wounded heart and soul caused by childhood experiences. Number 4. Avoid judging him. You can help your narcissistic husband to change for the better by pointing out his mistakes, but without judging him. Gently call him out for his unpleasant behaviors that significantly affect your marriage. Observe his actions, analyze his motivations, and find the appropriate approach to correct his wrongdoings. Tell him that humans as we are bound to commit mistakes as nobody is perfect. However, avoid justifying his faults by telling him you are greatly affected by his actions. Calmly explain to him that you are not judging him, but you are helping him to change for the better so you can save your marriage. Number 5. Initiate a heart-to-heart talk with your narcissistic husband. Communication is the key to a long and lasting relationship. Suppose married couples always communicate their thoughts and feelings to one another. In that case, they will know their partner's physical, emotional, and psychological needs. You can help your narcissistic husband to change for the better by constantly initiating a heart-to-heart talk with him. You can address misunderstandings, arguments, and quarrels through effective communication. Avoid raising your voice when talking to your narcissistic husband, and kindly ask him to lower his voice if he starts to shout at you. Promote peaceful talks with him from time to time. Number 6. Spot and correct all the red flags. You can help your narcissistic husband to change for the better by spotting and correcting all the red flags. You should not turn a blind eye to his faults and shortcomings as a husband and a father of your children. As a good wife, you should be able to assess and distinguish right from wrong using your core values or principles and apply them to your narcissistic husband. Since narcissists do not want to be called out, corrected, and disciplined, you should find the most appropriate way to address your husband's drawbacks. Talk to him gently and patiently so you can create a safe space between you and him. That is an effective way to start a conversation. Number 7. Never allow yourself to become your narcissistic husband's scapegoat. Narcissists are experts at gaslighting, which is commonly associated with victim-blaming tactics. They deploy such techniques to evade punishment and route it to other innocent people. When narcissists commit mistakes, they will likely point their fingers at someone else nearby to save face. In addition, they are so concerned about protecting their inflated egos and filtered reputation. You can help your narcissistic husband to change for the better by not allowing yourself to become their scapegoat. A scapegoat is a person chosen to take the blame or suffer in someone else's place. Number 8. Be a good example to your husband. You can't help your narcissistic husband to change for the better if you do not practice what you preach. You should do your best to live a wholesome life, one that is worthy of an example. Avoid being a hypocrite because narcissists can sense that, and they will only laugh at you if you try to correct them and discipline them. They are very good at turning the situation around through deflection to highlight your mistakes. That way, they can cover up their mistakes by simply trying to change the subject and pinning all the issues on you. Number 9. Convince your husband to take counseling. Suppose you can no longer take all the red flags your narcissistic husband has displayed in your marriage. In that case, you can seek assistance from healthcare professionals. You can help your husband change for the better by convincing him to take counseling with a psychologist, psychiatrist, or any medical practitioner expert in narcissism. In addition, if you suffer from narcissistic abuse, you can also take counseling with your husband. Other people say that narcissists resist treatment and counseling because they are not interested in intimate discussions, highlighting the flaws in their relationships. However, just do your part as his wife and never lose hope in helping your husband to change for the better. Number 10. Don't give up on your marriage easily. Marriage is not something that you can enter and leave anytime you want to. You can help your narcissistic husband to change for the better by not easily giving up on your marriage. On your wedding day, you and your husband vowed to stick together for better or worse, in sickness and health, and only death can separate you from each other. Do your best to maintain the love and respect within your relationship as years pass by. And if things are becoming inconvenient for you, do not turn your back on your narcissistic husband. However, suppose you suffer from mental illnesses like extreme anxiety and depression caused by narcissistic abuse. In that case, you can divorce your narcissistic husband. If saving your marriage is close to impossible, you can at least rescue yourself and your children from the toxicity of your husband. You should leave as soon as possible if domestic violence is a part of the problem in your marriage. Do not stay as a battered wife because it will eventually destroy your physical, emotional, and mental health. In this situation, prioritizing yourself and your children is not a selfish act. Always strive to maintain patience, love, respect, care, understanding, and communication in your marriage. Forgive, but do not tolerate your narcissistic husband's mistakes. Correct, but do not be judgmental. Discipline, but do not be harsh. I hope you will take all these lessons as you go through the highs and lows of married life with your narcissistic husband. Did you find this video interesting? What do you think? Leave a comment below. Like this video and subscribe to this channel. Watch this next video right here.